For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com. Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 55. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie.
Now, welcome to our second day of coverage of E3 2011. It's part 2. This episode we're going to be talking about Nintendo's press conference, what they had to unveil, what they spoke about, going into detail, nitpicking a bit here and there and all that kind of stuff. And tomorrow's show, which is going to be the third and final part of our E3 coverage, or the main the main E3 coverage of this year, we're going to be talking about the games in
games.
Yeah, breaking it down, talking about the games that we're impressed by.
What it's all about.
What games we weren't impressed by, all that kind of stuff. So all the juicy stuff really, so for tomorrow. But we've got the final conference out of 5 to talk about. We spoke about 4 yesterday. So if you've missed out, and this is the first of the E3 shows you down, and you've missed out, there's one yesterday. It was long, and we talked about Microsoft and Sony and EA and Ubisoft and stuff. Yeah,
but for this one we've only got Nintendo, so it's not going to be quite.
We covered a lot yesterday, and it was a long show, and so today shouldn't be as bad. We have a lot of stuff to talk about still, but anyways, right. So Nintendo yesterday, big press conference, started a little bit later than expected.
Late to the party. Yep. Kind of says a fair bit, really.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So
you see, I was kind of anticipating this one the most, because I think last year, hands down, Nintendo won E3. They gave the best press conference, had the best sort of like reveals and everything, and that was all well and good. And I wondered how this one would match up. I think overall wasn't as good as last year.
I don't know. I mean
there was a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah, true.
But I don't think it stood head and shoulders above Microsoft and Sony like it did last year.
No, I think it's a bit harder to call this one, I think, this year, but that's not what we're really here to talk about. We can talk about this later in the show, or maybe tomorrow. So Zelda.
Lots of Zelda.
Huge Zelda montage and orchestrated theme tunes and stuff, and all sorts of grandiose.
Pissing about with an orchestra, like we all want to do.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, basically 25th anniversary of Zelda. And
last year was Mario.
Yeah.
So there was a big Mario theme there. So
indeed,
obviously we're going to do this. There's lots and lots of Zelda announcements.
Okay, well, heading that off, we've got
Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D is being released next weekend.
Yeah, isn't this
worldwide
17th? I don't know. I can't remember the dates, but yeah, it's coming out next week.
That's the 3DS remake of the N64 classic.
Yeah, very popular game, and so I'm presuming, well, to be fair, with the 3DS, it's done okay. There's not been a lot out for it recently, and so this is what people have been waiting for. So people are going to snap this up like fuck knows what. It's going to be crazy. So they know they've got a big selling game on their hands there, so already winning there. So Next up is, not forgetting the normal DSi crowd, they announced that Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, which is the 4-player co-op thing, is going to be a free download for the DSi in September. Sweet. Well, that's good. Yeah, can't argue with free.
No.
Nice one.
So if you have a DSi, you've got Zelda goodness, you just need to get 3 other friends around who also have DSis to play it.
Sweet.
So that's pretty cool. Skyward Sword, which obviously is the new game for the Wii.
Yeah. That's been, well, I mean, there was obviously talk about it last year. It was unveiled last year, I think, wasn't it, at their press conference.
They didn't make a huge deal about it.
They didn't. They spoke about what, it's going to, this is the new Zelda game, it's come out on Wii, this is how the controls kind of work, they're slightly more tweaked and blah, 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 and Miyamoto went on about it for a bit, and it was alright.
He sort of detailed there's going to be like a gold Wii remote sort of packaged with it.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Because this is going to be their holiday game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is coming out this holiday season. So
that is. So There's more of that. There's not a huge amount of like gameplay or anything shown.
No,
but
very little. But I mean, the Zelda
there's-
stuff overall took up a fair bit of time. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and they were already running late. So you know,
Yeah. So he said like there's like concerts and soundtracks and
yeah, a lot of music stuff going on there.
So if you really like Zelda, then
I think there's a few tracks you can download for free from us. I can't remember the site they said or wherever it was, but in next weekend there'll be something else to download.
yeah, and anyone who registers their Skyward Sword on release, I think they're going to get like a free copy of the soundtrack for it, orchestral soundtrack, and that's all pretty cool.
Yeah,
freebies, we love it.
Can't argue. So
and then they moved on to the 3DS.
Now this is what a lot of people are waiting for. The 3DS is out. It's been out for a while now, and the first wave of titles came out, and there's been a bit of a drought for a while. And we spoke about this last week when we had our pre-E3 special. We had the guys from UGN on, and I think it's Aaron mainly talking about. He has a 3DS,
and he said he's been waiting for stuff to happen.
There's all these titles they've said, this is kind of come to 3DS. This is here's a demo of this for 3DS, and all these titles up in the air that are supposedly being worked on, and and there's been a bit quiet, and so Mario Kart 3DS, which has been announced,
which I have to say.
Holiday.
I have to say, that looked awesome.
It does look cool. Yeah. I love me some Mario Kart, and with each one of these, I was kind of like, actually, this is an excuse to get a 3DS. So they've got a pretty good lineup. So this holiday, most of these are coming out, I think, and so you got Mario Kart 3DS. Star Fox 64 3DS.
Yeah, they showed off. They're sort of going on about like the multiplayer aspects and the competitiveness and all that. And
it's kind of cool that a lot of the N64 classics are being remade for 3DS. I think that's awesome. Super Mario 3D, I think is the working title for it. I don't know if that's actually what they're calling it, but hey, whatever. It's a new Super Mario for for 3DS, which is something that should have really been there at launch, but hasn't been. So
but it'll be here before the year is out.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
They've said it's not like a remake or anything. It's a brand
whole
new
game
built
for
3D.
Yeah, so wicked. That's nice.
I have to say, from the gameplay and stuff, it
cool.
looked the whole sort of depth of field and the different planes and everything.
Yeah,
and looked alright.
Very cool.
And
a lot for Mario fans out there.
Yeah, and I think the next big one they said was Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, also another popular title.
Yeah, it looked fairly sort of like action. It looked sort of semi-hardcore, really.
I think actually there was talk of this last year.
Yeah,
they said about
they did
Kid
mention
Icarus
it,
coming,
but they showed off way more gameplay and
definitely.
stuff and the story and all that. And the voice acting, but still.
You can forgive it, I guess. It's in 3D.
Very sort of Saturday morning cartoon type thing, but that's cool. Also, this one I'm excited about, big reveal of Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, kind of shocked about this, actually. I was not expecting it at all.
I actually went around to mates who had a GameCube at the time, and I'd go over there, and because it was old by then, but by the time I actually got around to playing it, it had already kind of died already.
Yeah.
But went over there, and I would spend hours on this, and it's cool. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of similar, almost exactly the same as how it looked on the GameCube, maybe just sort of slightly better, but in 3D and running all that. And
yeah, definitely. Well, then they kind of played a bit. They kind of saved a bit of time here and played a nice little montage video of various other titles to expect. Yeah. Which I'll let you read them out.
Okay.
Huge list here.
It's Resident Evil: The Mercenaries in 3D.
Looked awesome.
Didn't it? Really, really good. Ace Combat 3D.
Also looked pretty cool.
Yeah. I have to admit, this list isn't in order of what they showed them, because by the time I'd finished writing one, there's already two had whizzed past, so I'd have to stop and go back and everything. Yeah. But yeah, Ace Combat Tetris.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, back. I mean, it's Tetris, but it's in 3D, so I guess it's kind of cooler.
Yeah, all handhelds need a Tetris game.
Yeah, true.
Sonic and Mario at the London Olympics 2012.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously kind of come out on, presumably Wii and other console.
Yeah. Driver Renegade.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm liking the ideas behind that.
Yeah.
That's kind of sweet.
Pac-Man and Gallagher Dimensions.
Sort of could take it or leave it a little bit, but I guess it's cool.
Tekken 3D.
That's kind of sweet. Yeah, we've already had Street Fighter so why
Yeah.
not? You know.
Cave Story 3D.
Yeah, I don't remember this one.
No, no, me neither.
Couldn't say what it was. Sorry.
No. Resident Evil Revelations. Oh, who wants
Ooh.
ice cream?
Yeah, I'm up for some of that. Anyway, back to the list.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it. Mr. Whippy's just like gate crashed the podcast. What the hell?
Yeah, that's awesome. Resident Evil Revelations, which I have to say looked also...
I'm just going to get some ice cream, sorry.
Right.
Come on.
Again, much like the...
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the Resident Evil titles for 3DS. I think that's going to be... That's another... Once again, another franchise that's on that I'm like, yeah, this, if I had a 3DS, it would be something I'd definitely get for it. So.
And I think my computer needs an ice cream.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's dying.
Awesome.
And Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D.
Yeah, which I actually read today is they're having the only major issue they're having with Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D is that it's such a big game. They're having to develop a 4 gig cartridge specially for it.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's cool. They also mentioned the 3DS update with the eShop and internet browser and whoa.
Yeah.
Can you? For everybody who's listening, I apologise for my computer.
If we can hear it in the background, yeah, which is quite loud. Go on. There we go, it's slowing down now.
It's dying. Yeah, and there's also going to be some like classic games coming out.
Oh yeah, some of these are just... I mean, last year they did the whole, you know, retro stuff, and yeah, so this was kind of in the same vein, and I quite like this, but yeah, go on.
And the big one that drew like the biggest sort of cheer from the crowd is 3D Classics Excite Bike.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Running in 3D.
Yeah.
They've said it'll be in 3D.
That's
so
fucking sweet. That is going to make a lot of people happy. That is,
Yeah.
I think Nintendo are literally going to bankrupt a lot of people.
Yeah.
Single-handedly, because some of these titles are just amazing. I actually really want a 3DS now. I think that's the... If anything, this press conference just kind of... I think it's good because it's reaffirmed people's faith in the 3DS, and you know they haven't just bought a piece of shit that's just going to sit there and collect dust. No. It's, you know, there is some stuff coming out for it, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, and what else was there?
I really wanted a 3DS last year, and I still really do. But at the same time, I kind of want a PS Vita as well. And you know, I think there's actually there is going to be quite a little bit of competition there. So interesting. Then they went on about saying because the DS and everything is a huge platform for the Pokemon games.
Yes. And
Pokédex 3D.
It's a free download, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the 3DS?
Yeah. And I think it's available now.
I can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure it is.
But basically you have like your Pokédex. If you're a Pokemon fan, you're going to love this, really.
Yeah.
Dan shaking his head. It's really, really not. No, I mean neither.
We'll ask the guys at EGN what they think about this, but yeah, no, I'm sure they're going to love it, and so is everybody else, really. I mean, I'm not against Pokemon, it's just not my thing.
No.
Right?
No.
There you go.
See, what I don't understand about Pokemon is...
all of it.
Well, yeah, there is that, but every time there's like a new edition, like, what happened to all the old monsters? Where did they all go?
Show them.
Where's Bulbasaur gone? Where's Jigglypuff? Where have they gone? They just kind of disappeared out of existence.
If your computer's still alive by the time you finish the podcast, you can always go on Wikipedia and find out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Then there was the big announcement.
Dun, dun, dun. So,
Project Cafe.
Yeah, so we've been talking about this for a little while. You know, the rumours have been flooding in over the last few weeks, as is normal, leading up to E3. So the successor, in some ways, to the Wii. Is it going to be called the Wii 2? The codename's Project Cafe?
Almost.
Close enough. And here's the thing they did. Reggie came out... Well, Reggie was already out talking about a lot of this shit, but, like, he was... he goes, guess what, here's the new console. Oh, by the way, here's the controller. Let's talk about the controller for about half an hour. Let's not show you the actual console.
I don't think they actually showed the console.
No, they didn't really show you the console.
You could kind of see it.
Yeah.
There's a picture in the background of it.
And in a way, though, when you look at it, you kind of realise, it just looks like the Wii.
Except it's got smoother edges.
It looks a little bit different, but not very much. So
like
it kind
an HDMI
of
port on the back.
Was a little bit pointless, and it probably wasn't much point in showing it off. Yeah. And so really the main... we'll unveil the name in a minute. Obviously, most people know what it is by now. But like, so basically, what you've got there is an upgraded Wii. It does HD. You know, we talked about this. These were pretty much confirmed rumors anyway. Nintendo confirmed it was going to be an HD console, 1080p. You know, pretty much on par graphics wise with PS3 and 360.
Yeah. What
it was capable of, anyway. But the main innovation comes from the controller, which is basically like a tablet. You know, like almost like a tablet PC. It's got buttons on the side, but it's got a sort of 10-inch touch screen.
Yeah.
And
2 shoulder buttons. And
yeah, it's got all the controls on it. The actual console itself is compatible with all the Wii accessories that are out at the moment.
Yeah, so if you've got Wiimotes...
Full backwards compatibility, which is great, which is something that we were worried about when we spoke about it the other week. But it's called the Wii U. So...
I kind of missed the sound off the beginning of that.
So basically, yeah, it's called the Wii U, which was a bit of a shock. I was kind of thinking...
Well, there were like rumours that it was just going to be called the Nintendo.
Yeah, I read about that. Interesting. I actually probably would have preferred that, but hey.
But you think about everything else. I mean, the Vita was leaked. Pretty much everything was leaked before. This was the only thing I think they managed to keep.
I don't know how. It's probably because somebody found out and was like, yeah, I can't even be bothered. It's just... I don't like the name. A lot of people don't like the name. A lot of people weren't ready to comment on the name when they were asked about it afterwards.
To be quite honest, I think Wii 2 would have been better.
Yeah, well, here's what I've got. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the name a bit actually before we talk about the actual thing itself too much.
Talk about the controller.
Yeah, talk about the controller, which is basically what it is. But they could have called it the Wii 2. That would have been awesome. I would have liked that. The Wii HD would have been cool. I would have liked that too. Not the Wii U.
Wii Touch.
The Wii Touch. Well, maybe. Actually, no, I still would have preferred that.
Yeah.
But like, you know, and the way it was rationalised, Reggie kind of it's, you know,
Wii is about us working together, playing games together. The U is about you.
Obviously, okay, so
you, the hardcore.
Let's rationalise this stupid ass name they've picked up. At the end of the day, originally the Wii was going to be called the Revolution. And I think it should have stayed that way. But then they might call this the Revolution U. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, stupid name. Don't really like it. But I can see why they've kept the Wii side of it. It took me a while to figure this out. Now, obviously, what they're trying to do with this console is obviously compete with Sony and Microsoft as far as, you know, graphics and power goes. But, you know, it's on par, as we mentioned just now. Excuse me. And basically, they're after the hardcore. They've already cracked the casual market. Now, the Wii did really well, probably better than expected. It's a huge phenomenon. It's been people have bought it who weren't gamers, who based off of the whole Wii Sports kind of thing. Oh yeah, I'd like to do bowling in my front room or whatever, that kind of stuff. So a lot of people have basically picked it up that way, and that's how it sold a lot of units. It started the whole motion control kind of phenomenon and all that, and you know, yeah, it's won over the casual audience for sure, and non-gamers, and you know, what they want to appeal to the hardcore, but they don't want to lose out on the casual side of things. They want, obviously, because this is backwards compatible as well, they want people to know it's still a Wii. People know that the name Wii, they know the branding. They don't want to change that. But the problem is if they want to go for the hardcore, they kind of need to lose that and rebrand it totally differently. I think if they called it the Wii fucking awesome 2000 or something, that would have probably, you know what I mean though, the Wii kick-ass or whatever, you know, that would have been... They would have been catering to the hardcore there. They would have changed the image, and it would have, you know. So it's kind of, you know, with hardcore gamers, it's a bit.
I think they should have called it the Wii Woo.
Maybe. Basically, right. That's throwing me.
As a hardcore gamer, I would have been out to buy a Wii Woo.
But that's the thing, though. As a hardcore gamer, you can't just. I'm gonna buy Battlefield 3 when it comes out. What are you getting it on? Oh, the Wii U. I mean, you know what I mean. I don't know. I think they've shot themselves in the foot as far as going for the hardcore crowd by calling it the Wii U and not rebranding it. But like I said, they're keeping it the same to kind of. So that people know it's still a Wii. You know, they know that all the stuff they've bought for the Wii, all the games, all the peripherals and stuff, they're going to work with this. It's an extension of the Wii. You've got to go out and buy a new one, but it's the same. It's, you know,
You can
down,
keep
it's-
all your games, and
yeah,
your controllers
and
and
I
stuff.
think they're scared to lose the casual crowd, and that's why it's got the Wii branding and it's kind of similar looking, and they've not changed things too much. But it's not going to really win the hardcore over, unfortunately. That's my opinion. But I feel that's I feel that they really should have rebranded it and give it a whole different name, just kind of distance themselves from the Wii thing a bit, and
My thing, like you said, about it not winning over the hardcore crowd is the simple fact that to really excel, they needed this to be better than anything that's out there.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it is. Let's be honest. They've just gone upgraded to current gen, which has been around for years.
Yeah.
So they've got. Let's be honest.
And
I mean, the
in a few years' time, they're going to be starting to move on to the next gen after that.
The 360 came out in 2005, late 2005. So it's been out for over 5 years now, nearly 6 years, and they are 6 years behind as far as that kind of graphics power and stuff. So they kind of really should have gone. Excuse you. Really should have gone like we were saying, kind of like next gen up from what we're actually at the moment, and just gone. Do you know what? Fuck Microsoft and fuck Sony. Let's just literally create a beast that's going to be this ridiculously powerful machine that's going to blow all of that out of the water. I mean, it's powerful, but it's just not. It's on par.
Yeah.
And so, they do have an issue, though, if they did do that. That is that basically the developers probably wouldn't want to favour it too much because, if you've got a hardcore game like Battlefield 3, if you made that the Wii U version look better than the PS3 version, people will probably complain about that a little bit. Yeah. So you've got to kind of keep things on par. But they've caught up now, so this isn't coming out till next year, 2012, I do believe. Yeah, sometime 2012. And it's already been confirmed that they're using 25 gig discs. It doesn't say whether it's Blu-ray or not. So a potential Blu-ray player in there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, food for thought. Anyway,
let's talk about the controller. The
controller. So we have already mentioned it's like a tablet with, controls either side and, all sorts of shit on it. And
sort of designed as sort of an augmented reality type thing.
Yeah, and this 10-inch screen. It's. I mean, what they showed was pretty cool. I mean, I think the one thing that, you got the augmented reality thing spot on because you can put this up to the screen and
it like zooms in on
stuff, and you can target things with it.
Like the shooting game where they had like the zapper, and they had it mounted on there as like a
scope. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's. I'm liking little ideas that I like about this, but overall I don't think it's that great. Sorry, I'm just saying. But what I thought was quite cool, like the Ninja Star thing you talked. You mentioned. Well, you didn't mention it earlier, but you spoke to me about it earlier. Yeah, that was kind of cool. I like those little ideas. I like the golf thing where they put it on the floor. Yeah. You could see your golf ball in the dirt and stuff, and then that's. Nintendo innovates in really interesting, they do some really interesting things, and the Wii was very innovative at the time. Now they've taken it a step further. It's still really cool, but the one I think selling point for me is the fact that you can be playing a game on your big TV in HD, and then say you just
your
girlfriend, which is probably
wants to watch Glee.
I was actually going to say that. That's really fucked up. Wants to watch Glee. And you don't want an argument, so you can carry on playing your game.
It down.
You can carry on playing your game on your on the screen built into this controller. I like that. I like the idea of that. I like
it's basically
the portability of it. You have to remain a certain radius to the actual machine. It doesn't use your Wi-Fi.
No,
it's connected, I guess, via some sort of Bluetooth.
Yeah,
sort of kind of thing, but. You have to be in a certain radius of it. So I guess you live in a flat, so it's probably right for you. So if you live in like a flat or an apartment or something, that's fine. But if you wanted to play it, if you have a house, if you wanted to live, play upstairs, or if you have a mansion, I guess shit out of luck. Great for people.
Keep it in the East Wing. Great, have to stay in the East Wing.
Great for people that. If you had a mansion, you'd probably buy more than one, but
one for every wing.
Yeah,
yeah.
So great for people that feel the need to take a shit halfway through playing Mario.
Yeah. I didn't think of it like that.
They were like,
just put that image in my head and it's not going away now.
Do you know, they were like, they were playing the new Mario or something, and they're like, I need to take a dump.
Just take it with you.
Just play this. Hey, guess what we can do now? So basically, it is an upgraded Wii with, all the bells and whistles that we come to accustomed with other consoles and stuff. And, the main thing about it is the controller. It's just the controller, that's the main selling point here, which, is, it's cool, but,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else to really say about it. We've seen bits. I've seen some videos since about like the was it Chase Me and all that Battle Me stuff. That's kind of cool. They showed a lot of the web browser. Well, not a lot, but a little bit of the web browser stuff. Oh, you can go on YouTube and watch a video. Oh, look, you want to watch the video on telly? Yeah, just flick it over to the telly and blah blah. Yeah, it's kind of cool, but are these real life applications for this? Are they actually Would you do that? Would you be like, oh, check out this fucking clip of a dog? Man, can I watch any telly?
Well,
I don't know.
The media sharing thing is kind of well, it's what expected now. It's just another way.
Yeah,
down.
maybe.
I personally, I've got a PS3, as you know, and my girlfriend's got a Sony Vaio laptop. If she's got any videos or songs or anything on there, we can broadcast it that way. And this is basically exactly the same, except it's just part of the same machine.
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff here.
It's amazing and it's revolutionary, but it's kind of hard to get your head around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're doing some very cool stuff. We'll see how it pans out. I mean, they've unveiled some games that are coming out for it, or sort of have and haven't, I guess. They
did like a tech demo of the thing with the bird, sort of what the graphics are capable of.
You can go on our Facebook and check that out, actually, facebook.com/Games4all podcast. We've uploaded.
Birdie with Blossom.
It looks great, but...
What games developers can do that? Especially when you've seen like their own first-party stuff, they're kind of not going... Yeah,
their own first-party stuff playing on this, at least at the moment. Like I said, the Chase Me, Battle Me stuff, it all looks just like your original Mii's and stuff. Those kind of graphics from like, Wii Sports, etc. On all their first-party games, just in HD. It looks higher resolution and not much more detail. So, and that
smoother edges and all that.
Yeah, but
I'm kind of wondering, will that work with the older Wii games as well? Will that be broadcast?
Well, as far as that, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as backwards compatibility goes, we're not. No, they've not really said a lot other than it just will be backwards compatible with a lot of the Wii games. So who knows? We'll see. Great if it can up-res them and make them, make them semi-HD. We did talk about this a bit last on our birthday pre-free show. So there's a possibility there, but who knows? That'd be great. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. So, what else was unveiled? I mean,
they had like some prototypes and demos. They said stuff that's not going to be actual games, like you said, like the Chase Me and the Shield Pose, and that they had like Super Mario Brothers Wii running, but it was Super Mario Brothers Me.
Yeah, with your Mii's,
your Mii's and everything running inside that. But yeah, we're probably not going to see those as thing. What they did mention was Lego City Stories. Which kind of made by the same people who do all the Lego Star Wars games and all that. It's going to be like
Telltale Games, yeah.
Telltale Games, yeah. It's going to be like a huge open world based on the Lego Cities models and stuff. But before all that, they didn't show anything. They mentioned it though, that there is going to be a new Smash Brothers, which sent a roar through the crowd.
Well, it's for 3DS and is also compatible with this Wii U.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of sort of cross, similar to I imagine what will be like some games with the Vita and the PS3. That it'll utilise both. You be able to use them together.
Interesting, very interesting. I mean, I don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
I was going to say something then, but it's one of those weird things. It's like people are so accustomed to the Wii that now it's like throw this controller in their hands and they're kind of like, well, you can do so much with it. What do you do with it? I guess for a lot of people it's confusing. Yeah. And, they're obviously... And I'm going to talk about this a bit later, actually, at the end, but it gives you choices, which is what I like. But that's something I'm going to come back to as far as, talking about... But, they had a clip that they showed with...
the VT. Yeah. All the third-party
developers. And it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for ages and ages and ages now, it's been like stuff like Call of Duty, like, you got the PS3 and all that. And there's a Wii version. It's not the same version. No, it's not...
Well, it is. I mean, I actually have played a little bit of Black Ops on the Wii.
Yeah.
It's awful looking. It looks like shit, but it's still it plays like shit too. But it's sort of it's the same game. You have the same game. It's the DS versions that are different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's.
But no,
it starts in a bar in Cuba exactly the same way, and it's still the same. Everything's the same. It just looks really, really scaled down and crap.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's kind of like it's been an inferior version of. Well, now with this new technology, there's going to be like
it's going to be on par, and it's going to have all these crazy control gimmicks, I guess.
And the games in the VT that they've announced will be available for stuff like Darksiders 2, which I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about tomorrow anyway. Tekken, Batman: Arkham City,
which I think a lot of people were like,
"Whoa,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome."
And it's that kind of like at that point, Darksiders, they were like, "Ooh." That's interesting.
Yeah. What else you got?
And Tekken. Okay. And then Batman Arkham Asylum. That's when I thought, oh, right, this is going to be like proper third party. They said there's going to be Assassin's Creed games on it.
Yeah.
There's Ghost Recon Online. It's going to be playable on it, which means hopefully they've sorted out the online thing with it, because the Wii's online was a bit thing. But I think, although they never properly addressed it, I think it's kind of implied that they have sorted out the whole online capabilities of the console.
Well, hopefully, because with all these third-party titles, a lot of them you can play online, and it should be as easy as 360 or PS3 to get on and play with other people. So.
Yeah. Also, Dirt. There was a little clip of Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's 2 games at least that are using the Unreal Engine, so we know that runs on this new tech, so that's good.
Yeah. Metro Last Light.
Yeah.
And the new Ninja Gaiden 3, which, again, made the crowd go, ooh.
Pretty cool. So, yeah, it's pretty much... it's an interesting lineup. What I will say is that, you know, we couldn't be 100% sure whether the footage they showed was the games running on that tech, or
I don't think they were.
Apparently, Aliens Colonial Marines, or whatever it's called, is actually there at E3. You can play it on the Wii U and all that stuff. But
that's cool.
You know, so it's kind of interesting. You know, they've got some stuff there working, but I don't think they've got all these games they're running and that kind of stuff. You know, I'm just saying. Interesting overall, pretty solid stuff from Nintendo. I mean, you've got the Zelda stuff, which is, you know, there's a lot more releases there than was expected. You know, release date for Skyward Sword, which is good. Ocarina of Time 3D just around the corner, literally, and a whole slew of 3DS titles. You got your Mario Kart, Star Fox, Super Mario, and Kid Icarus and all that kind of stuff, and then a whole bunch. I mean, just the list goes on. 3DS titles. So for 3DS owners, it's great. It's good news. You know, and the classic stuff, the Excitebike, that's fantastic. A few freebies thrown in there with the Pokédex, and the free Zelda title for DSi, which is cool. Not forgetting people that own slightly older consoles and handhelds and stuff.
Yeah,
and then the whole Wii U stuff. I mean, it's it's a shame. It is a shame because it is sort of, you can see this not doing as well as they want it to. The Wii was great, and sold well to the casual people. And maybe a lot of them will buy a Wii U and just to have the HD graphics or to be able to play some newer games, and because eventually support for the Wii will end up weaning, and eventually there will
weaning.
And eventually the Wii will be dead, and the Wii U will live on, blah blah blah. But like you say, I mean, how much life's in the Wii U really? Because we're at least the halfway point, if not towards the end of this generation of graphics and stuff. So, and they've just caught up. They're sort of 5-6 years behind. It does beg that question, and it's good that they've got all these third-party developers on board. It's good that they're doing that kind of stuff and trying to put out stuff for the hardcore gamer, but it's like, it is too little too late, I think, in some ways. And, there will be people that buy this. At the end of the day, when games like Battlefield come out, and, they will be playable on this console. And, there was this... I mean, Ken Levine was in the VT. They didn't say Bioshock Infinite was going to be on it, but you can guarantee it probably will be, because it will come out at probably a similar time. At the end of the day, out of all the platforms that game's going to be available on, which is literally Xbox, Xbox 360, PS3, PC, and now this, presumably... I mean, that's a speculation, but I'm pretty sure it will be. It's going to do better on... It's probably always going to do better on, everything but.
Yeah, because it's going to have they have the higher install base.
Exactly. So
people already
be
have,
interesting
all the
to see.
hardcore gamers already have
Yeah.
either a 360, a PS3, or both. So
Yeah,
this is like
yeah.
another hardcore console that they're going to have to get. This really should have been what the original Wii was.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, I think personally, if they really wanted to go for the hardcore, they needed to rebrand it. But I think obviously they're too scared to go too drastic with that because it will turn off the casual gamer. They won't want to have anything to do with it. So it's sort of the reverse problem that Microsoft have had with getting casual gamers to the 360, but luckily Kinect's kind of helped with that.
Yeah,
usher that along a little bit. Now they're kind of fighting for the hardcore to take to Kinect. So it's kind of an interesting, you kind of can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it. And
it's kind of indicative of the way that the trends change, even in just like the past 2 years. I mean, first of all, it was like struggling to get all the casual games in. Now it's heading back to the hardcore, and where's it going to go next? The trends and everything changes so quickly now.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we could go on talking on and on and on and on about this stuff, but I mean,
we should also say that the EA CEO, is it John Riccitiello?
Yeah,
he came on and said nothing really. Then walked off again. Yeah, he's just saying, "Oh yeah, we at EA, we
like you, we like you,
we like you, Wii U." That is all, and walked off.
So yeah, not what I expected. I think the name just throws me so bad. I don't know, like it's and I can tell a lot of developers aren't that keen on it. So
even maybe they should have just called it the Nintendo U.
Maybe, I mean that perhaps would have been it, but yeah. I don't know. Like, but the name aside, it's interesting to see what they're doing with this controller because that's really the focus here. Forget about the actual console itself; it's more powerful version of the Wii. Okay, that's all you need to know. The controller is what is new, really. The controller is what is the innovation there. Everything else is built into the console has been done before, pretty much, and at
the same time, we're kind of wondering. How is the third party
developers going to utilise that? Yeah, no, it is interesting, and you do run the risk with things like the Wii and things like Kinect and Move and this. You run the risk of having this kind of the application for this, the functionality, to be really tacked on and not feel like integrated into the game and stuff. Yeah. And I'm really worried that that's going to. If Nintendo want this to sell to the hardcore, if they really want to push these titles, they've got to make that controller do something fucking awesome. And for it to really... There are probably a lot of surprises of things we don't know that it can do yet, but we'll see. I mean, be interesting.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. It's in white. That's a shame that they don't offer it in black.
And wait, the choice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to wait for it to... So it is interesting, and it does also beg the question. I mean, do you just buy this with one and that's it? Everyone else can use a Wii remote.
Yeah.
Or do you go out and? I mean, let's be honest. Wii remotes are expensive. The nunchucks are expensive. How much is this motherfucker going to cost? If you needed
this is practically like a mini DS in itself, isn't it? Yeah. Even more so because it's got gyroscopes, it's got accelerometers,
it's got a lot of shit built in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, we're going to talk about this a bit more over the weeks to come because a lot more details and games and all sorts of information will be kind of spewing out the kind of outfall from E3. So I mean, we've got our last.
Sorry, did you just say outfall?
Possibly, yeah.
You mean Fallout?
Yeah, that's what I said, but didn't. The Fallout from E3. So basically, tomorrow's show is pretty much going to be
about the games,
focusing on the games, but obviously in the weeks to come there's still going to be a lot of stuff we haven't talked about, haven't mentioned, and little things that have happened in between that we might not have caught, and so there's still going to be some sort of E3 news.
And of course now the big reveals have been done, there's going to be lots of little reveals.
Yeah, everyone's got their own little conference. I think there's a Gears one last night, there's a Modern Warfare 3 one today, and everyone's doing their own little... There will be a Skyrim one at some point, if that's not already happened, and stuff like that. But we're going to talk about that. I'm going to end with saying that this E3... Right? You're worried now, aren't you?
Yeah.
This year's E3...
I'm going to end this now with the song.
No. This year's E3, to me, has been about choices and options.
Yeah.
When you think about it, right?
Yeah.
And the Vita for the most part, you've got so many different ways you can play stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With the Wii U and the controller mainly, there's so many different ways you can play things. You have choices and options. And with Kinect, a lot of the games, the hardcore stuff they're showing off, a lot of that functionality is optional.
Yeah.
So you've got lots of different ways. I mean, they're giving the gamer lots of choice.
Yeah.
And, that's good.
Choice is good.
Choice is good. No, but they are. I mean, I think everyone's offered that. And
choice gives you the illusion of freedom.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think that's what everyone's kind of been, we'll put some of the power back in the gamer's hand. Here, you can play this how you want, sort of thing. You've got choices, and I like that a little bit. Everyone's got their own ways of doing things, and I think it's weird because you go back so many years, and back to even like the days of the original Xbox, and you talk about last gen and all that kind of stuff. Microsoft and Sony really didn't listen to the community, and now with obviously the internet being such a big part of things, they have no choice in it but to listen to the community and stuff. And I think
they have no choice, so they're giving the choices to us.
Exactly. I'm just saying, but these are things that gamers want, and I think people are making better games and better consoles and innovating more through that. So
give the people what they want.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening and listening to us ramble. It's been a slightly shorter show than yesterday even.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, and last week's. Yeah. So thanks again for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with probably a bit longer of an episode, but we're going to be talking about the games from E3, what we've been impressed by, what we haven't been impressed by, and kind of what we've thought, interesting. We see that these certain games have potential, we'll keep an eye on them, kind of thing. So, and then we'll just kind of talk about little bits and pieces that we might not have mentioned already, and talk about our highlights, and just kind of wrap things up a little bit. So, you'll be able to join us for that tomorrow, and we can't say exactly what time that'll be up, but it'll be up at some point tomorrow. And
it'll be up before Friday morning.
Yeah, definitely. So, thanks very much for listening. You can check us out, Games4all.podcast.com. All the episodes are on there. Videos, all kinds of craziness is on there, and Tabasco drinking, etc. And I had to mention that, sorry. And if you want to email us, podcast@games4allpodcast.com, facebook.com/games4allpodcast. If you want to check us out on there, like us, there's tons of trailers that James has been very busily putting up.
Yeah, I've kind of given up today. There's just too many. I'll try and find a few more.
Yeah, put some more later. But yeah, there's tons more the trailers on there. That stuff that we've talked about, and so if you want to kind of check it all out, it's up there. And what else? Twitter.com/Games4all.
Yep, that's the one.
Check it out on there. So thank you very much for listening and downloading, and we'll be back tomorrow. See you soon.
See ya.
For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com.